The prestigious Madison Country Club buzzed with activity as the elite gathered to celebrate my mother's 60th birthday. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over the crowd of designer dresses and tailored suits. I adjusted my simple black dress, deliberately chosen to maintain my cover, and made my way through the crowd. "Oh, Sophia finally made it," my sister Diana announced, her voice dripping with false sympathy. She stood near the gift table in her red designer gown, champagne in hand. The bus must have been running late? I checked my understated watch, actually a custom piece worth more than Diana's car, and smiled mildly. Traffic was reasonable. "Darling." Mom air-kissed my cheeks, careful not to smudge her perfect makeup. "We were just discussing Diana's new summer house in the Hamptons. Isn't it wonderful how well the investment firm is treating her husband?" "Very nice," I murmured, accepting a glass of champagne from a passing waiter. In my clutch, my real phone vibrated with another update about the merger. "Speaking of investments," Diana smirked, "how's that little startup of yours doing? Still working from coffee shops?" Before I could respond, Dad joined us, his face serious. "Sophia, your mother and I have been talking. This entrepreneurship phase, it's gone on long enough." Phase. I raised an eyebrow, checking my decoy phone as another text came in. The real negotiations were happening in my other phone, hidden in my clutch. "You're 34, Mom sighed. Diana was already a homeowner at your age. With a real career." Diana preened. "Not everyone can handle corporate success, Mom. Some people are just different." She emphasized the last word like it was a diagnosis. "Actually," I started, but Mom cut me off. "We have a surprise for you," she announced, reaching for an envelope on the gift table. "Consider it a birthday gift from me to you." I opened the envelope, already knowing what I'd find. A bus pass and a printed schedule fell into my palm. "It's an annual pass," Diana explained with exaggerated patience. "So you can stop wasting money on daily tickets. And look, we highlighted all the routes that go past major office buildings. You know, for interviews." "That's thoughtful," I replied, slipping the bus pass into my clutch next to my private jet membership card. "Martin from the bank asked about you," Mom added hopefully. "They're hiring junior analysts. He said he'd waive the experience requirement as a favor to me." My hidden phone buzzed again. The merger documents were ready for final signature. "Your sister's firm has entry-level positions too," Dad suggested. "Benefits, retirement plan." "I appreciate the concern," I said carefully, "but my work is going well." Diana laughed, the sound echoing off the crystal glasses. "Work? Is that what we're calling playing with computers in cafes now?" "You need stability," Mom insisted. "A real office, a real job. A real life," Diana finished. "Like mine. Did you know we're looking at yachts next week?" My actual phone vibrated again. The Asian markets were opening, waiting for the merger announcement. Everything was in place. "When I was your age," Dad began, but stopped as Matthew's mom's butler approached with urgency. "Pardon the interruption," he said, "but there's a situation requiring immediate attention." The television. The large screen at the bar, usually playing muted sports, suddenly increased in volume. A financial news anchor's voice cut through the party chatter. "Breaking news. Tech giant Microsoft has agreed to a historic $4.2 billion merger with mysterious startup Nova Industries. Sources say the deal was orchestrated by Nova's secretive CEO, who..." "Turn that business nonsense off," Mom waved dismissively. "It's my birthday." My real phone lit up. Time to make history. I pulled out the sleek device, distinctly different from the basic model they'd seen me using. "Excuse me, I need to take this." "Really, Sophia?" Diana scoffed. "During Mom's party?" I answered, putting it on speaker deliberately. "Ms. Anderson speaking." "Ma'am," my assistant's voice rang clear, "the $4.2 billion merger is complete. The documents are signed. Megasoft is ours." The crystal glass slipped from Diana's fingers, shattering against the marble floor. Mom's perfectly arranged features froze. Dad's face went pale. "Excellent," I replied calmly. "Release the press statement. And have my car brought around, the Bentley, not the Rolls today. Oh, and inform the board members their shares just tripled in value." I ended the call and turned back to my stunned family. The room had gone silent, all eyes now fixed on me. About that bus pass, I smiled, pulling out my CO business card, the real one. I don't think I'll be needing it. But thank you for the thought. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a merger to announce. Happy birthday, Mom. The silence at the Madison Country Club shattered as phones began buzzing throughout the room. The wealthy elite of the city mom's carefully curated guest list all simultaneously discovered that the woman they'd dismissed as a struggling entrepreneur was now one of the most powerful CEOs in tech. This can't be right, Diana stammered, frantically scrolling through her phone. Nova Industries. That's the company everyone's been trying to partner with for months. The one that revolutionized quantum encryption. The very same, I confirmed, smoothing my intentionally modest dress, which they'd soon learn was actually a one-of-a-kind piece worth more than Diana's Hamptons house. Though we prefer to keep a low profile. Dad's banking app pinged repeatedly as Nova's stock soared. 30% jump in after-hours trading, he muttered, face ashen. Market cap now. Dear God. The TV screen continued its broadcast, now showing my official CO photo, taken the same day Mom had suggested I try temp work. Nova Industries, led by CEO Sophia Anderson, has been the subject of intense speculation in tech circles, the anchor announced. The company's breakthrough in quantum computing security has made it the most sought-after acquisition target in Silicon Valley. Instead, in a stunning reverse move, Nova has acquired industry giant Microsoft. Turn it off. Mom hissed, but her society friends were already gathering around the screen, their whispers growing louder. That's Catherine's daughter. The one they said was struggling? Did you know? All this time. My assistant, Rebecca, entered the room with practiced efficiency. Her tailored suit and commanding presence drew all eyes. Ms. Anderson, the board is assembled for the virtual meeting. We've set up in the club's private dining room as arranged. As arranged. Mom's voice cracked. You planned this? Here? Today? Of course, I replied, checking my real watch, the one that cost more than most people's homes. The timing was strategic. Market closure in New York, opening in Asia. Perfect synchronization for global announcement. But your little startup. Diana sputtered. The coffee shops. The bus. An excellent cover, Rebecca interjected. Ms. Anderson's strategy of appearing unsuccessful kept Nova's true worth hidden during critical development phases. Quite brilliant, actually. The family's, shall we say, lack of faith, provided perfect camouflage. The TV droned on. Sources say Nova's encryption technology will revolutionize digital security. Major banks are already lined up for contracts worth billions. Banks. Dad whispered. The same banks you needed my help to get an interview with last month. Actually, I smiled, they've been our clients for months. That interview you arranged? The CEO called me personally to apologize when he realized who I was. Quite embarrassing for him. Mom sank into a chair, her perfect posture crumbling. But you said you were struggling. No, I corrected gently. You said I was struggling. I just didn't correct you. It was useful having everyone underestimate me. Made the acquisition much smoother. Diana's phone rang, her husband's investment firm, no doubt scrambling to understand how they'd missed this. She stared at it, unmoving. Ms. Anderson, Rebecca interrupted, we should begin the board meeting. The Asian markets. Of course. I turned to my family. Mom, I'm afraid I'll have to step out during your party. For billion-dollar mergers require some attention. But I've arranged a little gift to make up for it. Rebecca handed Mom an envelope, much thicker than the one containing my bus pass. What's this? Mom's hands trembled as she opened it. The deed to this country club, I replied casually. I bought it last week. Thought it would make a nice birthday surprise. You'll never have to worry about membership fees again. The room erupted in gasps and whispers. Mom's social circle, the elite she'd spent decades impressing, stared in shock as their power dynamic shifted seismically. But that's not all, I continued. Diana, that yacht you're looking at next week? I'm afraid it's no longer available. My company acquired the entire marina this morning. However, I paused, enjoying the moment. I'm sure we can work something out. Perhaps a rental agreement? Once you pass the financial background check, of course. Diana's perfect makeup couldn't hide her flush of embarrassment. Now if you'll excuse me, I gathered my things. I have a board meeting to conduct. Rebecca, please ensure my family receives the complete portfolio of my holdings. They should know exactly what their struggling daughter has built while they were printing bus schedules. As I turned to leave, I heard the TV anchor continuing. In related news, Nova Industries has announced a new tech campus development, transforming the downtown district where CEO Anderson allegedly once couldn't afford office space. Oh, and Mom. I paused at the door. About that junior analyst position at Martin's bank? You should know we bought that bank last quarter. Martin now works for me. But I'm sure he'd be happy to find something entry-level for the family. The silence that followed me out was broken only by the sound of more crystal glasses hitting the floor and the continuous pinging of phones as the news spread through high society. 1 hour later, I emerged from the private dining room, the merger officially complete. Global markets were buzzing, stock prices soaring, and my family, well, they hadn't moved from their shocked positions in the main hall. Mom sat rigidly in her chair, still clutching the country club deed. Diana stood by the window, her phone displaying a cascade of missed calls from her husband's firm. Dad studied a portfolio Rebecca had provided, his banker's mind finally grasping the true scope of my empire. The board meeting went well, I announced, joining them. Megasoft's integration begins tomorrow. We're projecting another 30% stock increase by morning. Why didn't you tell us? Mom's voice was barely a whisper. Tell you what. I settled into a chair, smoothing my dress. That while you were planning my life, I was building an empire. That every time you suggested an entry-level position, I was signing billion-dollar contracts. That your struggling daughter owns half the buildings in this city. Diana finally found her voice. But all those times you came to family dinner by bus. I took the bus from my private airfield, I smiled. The jet had just landed from Tokyo or Singapore or London. It was easier than explaining why my driver was parking a Bentley around the corner. The coffee shops, Dad started, were excellent places to conduct quiet meetings. Nobody notices another person with a laptop. Perfect cover for negotiating international deals. I checked my watch. Speaking of which, European markets open soon. Rebecca. My assistant materialized with a tablet. Asian markets are up 40% on the merger news. European analysts are predicting similar jumps. Also, Mr. Thompson from the investment firm has called 8 times about his wife's yacht situation. Diana flinched at the mention of her husband. The marina acquisition proceeds as planned? I asked. Complete as of an hour ago. Would you like me to have them raise the Nova Industries flag now, or wait until Mrs. Thompson's yacht shopping appointment next week? Now I think, no reason to delay the inevitable. Mom straightened, attempting to regain some control. Darling, perhaps we should discuss this as a family. Like you discussed my career choices? I interrupted smoothly. My lifestyle? My supposed failures. We were trying to help, Dad protested weakly. No, you were trying to control. There's a difference. I stood straightening my jacket. But don't worry. I'm not vindictive. In fact, I'm offering opportunities. Rebecca distributed 3 more envelopes. What are these? Diana asked, hands shaking as she opened hers. Investment opportunities. Legitimate ones. Mom, the country club needs a new social director. Someone who knows the members, understands the politics. The position is yours if you want it. Merit-based, of course. Mom's eyes widened. Dad, Nova's banking division needs experienced advisors. You'd start as a regular board member, but advancement is possible. Based on performance, naturally. He nodded slowly, already calculating the possibilities. And Diana. I turned to my sister. That entry-level position you suggested I'd take at your husband's firm? I'm offering you the same at Nova. Starting from the bottom, learning the business properly. No shortcuts. But I'm family, she stammered. Yes, you are. Which is why you're getting the opportunity at all. I gathered my things. Think it over. Rebecca has the paperwork ready when you decide. The room had filled again, Mom's birthday guests unable to resist watching the drama unfold. Their whispers created a steady backdrop of shocked discovery as they pieced together the truth about the woman they'd dismissed for years. One more thing, I added. Next month's family dinner will be at my penthouse. The real one, not the studio apartment you think I live in. We'll be hosting some people you might know, tech CEOs, bank presidents, a few senators. Do try to arrive on time. Mom's social circle erupted in barely concealed gasps. These were people they'd spent years trying to impress, now apparently casual dinner guests at their struggling daughter's home. Rebecca, my car? The Bentley is waiting, Ms. Anderson. And the mayor is on hold. Something about renaming the technology district. Tell him I'll take his call in the car. I turned back to my family one last time. Oh, and Mom? Happy birthday. The bus pass was inspiring. As I walked out head high, the whispers followed. All this time. Right under our noses. The most powerful woman in tech. And they gave her a bus pass. The heavy doors closed behind me, leaving my family to face their new reality. Their social status, their connections, their carefully maintained image of success, all had been eclipsed in a single evening by the daughter they'd underestimated. In the car heading toward my actual office in the Nova Tower, the city's tallest building, I allowed myself a small smile. The bus pass sat on my lap, a reminder of how far I'd come and how sweet success could taste. After all, the best revenge wasn't just success, it was success they never saw coming.